Today, we travel west into the Rocky Mountains, into the Ghost Wilderness. Going farther than we ever have before, it doesn't take long to put the road behind us and start exploring on our own. Out here, there's no one besides myself. But all of this is worth it in the end. Join us today as we explore what this beautiful area has to offer. What is up and welcome back everyone. Today we're starting our video actually right on public land. So we just crossed over the Texas gate behind me, back on private land, and now we're all got crown land right in front of us. So today's video is a little bit different than the video we did before with our first solo winter camping trip. Today we're going to do a little more exploring because I took a look at my map a little bit more and a little bit more satellite imagery, and I want to find some really cool camping spots to maybe not hit this time but maybe hit in the summer or maybe hit later on in the winter. Anyways, also today we're not camping with a heater. Thankfully it's not minus 30. It's actually 5 degrees Celsius right now, which is insane for this time, but we got a rooftop tent and a really warm sleeping bag, so I'm not worried about the cold. But yeah, no heater. We are working on something super cool for the heater eventually, but not right now. Another thing is we do have the insulated floor on the tent now, so we're going to see how that works. Hopefully remove all the condensation in our tent, which means then we'll be good for really cold temperatures with a heater. Anyways, taking a look at my map here, I think our first spot is this one right up here. There's a little bit of a road that goes out. It's not in area where you can't camp, so I have the actual government Alberta one. I'm using that, and I'm using the satellite imagery. Looking at that, the road goes off to the side, and it is a trail, so theoretically we should be able to go do that. So let's cruise along down here and find our first little roadway. Last time we came out here was right after a snowstorm, and that meant that it was really deep snow and it was a little sketchy. This time a Chinook's blowing through and there's barely any snow. Like looking on the side of the roads here, there's nothing, so I don't think we really have to worry about getting stuck too much, which is always a good sign. But yeah, we're gonna continue along. As you can tell, if you guys weren't here on the first video, this road is so rough, and my Forester's got almost 20-year-old suspension at this point, so we have to take it a little bit slower, but we're still going to cover lots of roadway today. And just like that, we've made it to our first waypoint. So this is actually, I was wrong, this is actually a trailhead to a trail called Lost Knife Trail, and it looked a little sketch. I might go down to where that truck is just to see where this road goes, but then I think I'm going to turn around. I don't have skid plates right now or lifted Forester, so I'm not going to push it too hard because it really sucked to hit an oil pan here. So I actually just walked down the trailhead a little bit, and this is kind of the one of the areas that splits off. So we've got a quadding road down there, and then we got the actual Lost Knife Road, quotation marks, right there. The Forester could do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It's really icy, like extremely icy, so it might be a little sketchy sliding around into some of those grooves and stuff, but this is definitely a cool trail, and I'll have to remember it for when Adrian comes, because this will be a great first little off-roading thing. From what I've read, people in stock Jeeps do it all the time, so Forester would have no problem. Probably skid plates would be definitely recommended, but yeah, we're gonna hike back up to our car over there and then continue along our way. Well, we're at spot number 2, and I had a feeling it was this place. So this place says no motorized vehicles are allowed at this point. So I'm assuming there was one point that vehicles were allowed, and now they're not. So that cancels that point. So we'll move on down the road. I've got a couple more points, and then we actually go left onto Wipersville's Valley Road. So where we turned right last time, so we went down that road, we're actually going left down this much smaller road actually. Looks pretty cool, but I scouted a couple spots down here, so that's what we're going to try to do. I did notice the North Ghost recreational area we just passed is camping allowed, even though on their government Alberta thing it doesn't. So I guess that's always a good plan B. But anyways, it's only 2:30 and I want to get a site by 3, so we're going to go down here and hopefully find something. But I'm going to toss up the GoPro because this trail, I don't even want to call it a road, this trail looks really cool, guys. So I hope you enjoy this and hopefully see you guys at a campsite. Upon entering this road, you get a warning about how curvy it's going to be in, how it's single lane in some places. As I was going down, I did see a lot of trucks with trailers and stuff, so it wasn't too bad. But as I continued, the road got smaller and smaller, and essentially it became a single lane trail, if that, down into the spot where we wanted to camp. When we got to where we wanted to camp, I knew this place had a lot of spots to park, so I just had to get into it. Unfortunately, I went the wrong way, and I found myself kind of clawing through a little bit of deep snow. I think we made it to where we want to camp. As you saw in that time lapse, it was a lot more of like trail driving stuff, which was awesome. I love that. That's exactly what I wanted this to be, rather than burning the road like we did last time. So definitely go left into Wipers Valley or Wipers Creek Trail or whatever, because then you have to ride this trail all the way. I passed a few campers like 5 kilometers ago, much more of like a situated camping spot. This place is a little sketchy to get into. I dragged the whole bottom of the car again because, well, that's the way it goes, through this patch of snow. But there goes a quad that I seen drive by. So this road must go on for kilometers, which is awesome, because I think that's what we're gonna do next time, is just keep on going, come out here earlier. But essentially, I had to go through this like patch of snow. With the deep snow that there was last time, there's no way I would have made it through. Thankfully, a lot of it's packed. A lot of people have been out here, and essentially, I had to go through this little patch right here, which honestly doesn't look too bad. The issue is, this scraping is all from me. I drove right over top of this. Ooh, I really scraped the underside of my car, but yeah. So we're gonna move the car to a better spot where it's less windy, and then set up camp. With our spot being selected, it's now time to unpack the tent. So essentially, it's the same process as last time, but we're not going to put the annex on this time because I'm not too concerned that we're in an open area, and I'm just going to find a couple stones to put under the things that hold down the vestibule. So that just folds out to here, and then I'll just put a couple stones, and then we'll find a place to put our fire, and obviously get some amazing drone footage of this perfect campsite. always say is, wow, check out this spot. As you guys seen in that little edit there, the little cinematic, beautiful spot. The sun's just setting. There's no wind. There was no wind last time, and then we got caught in a windstorm, but hopefully there's less wind this time. But wow, such a great spot, no one around. I heard someone shooting like kilometers that way, but no one in the immediate vicinity, as you guys have probably seen those drone shots. But now it's time to cook some dinner while the sun sets. I also went ahead and I set up a fire just, well, it was downwind when it was windy, but essentially just set up a little fire here. Haven't started it yet because there's no real need to yet, so I'm sure you've already seen in the time lapse or the drone shots, but this spot is really cool. It's kind of like on this embankment of the, I want to say it's a Wipers River or Creek, but don't quote me on that, but it's just on the embankment, so I can just walk over here and it's pretty much the little creek. You can actually hear it still going, which is kind of cool. And a lot of people camp up here. I was gonna do that, but it was windy when we got here, so I didn't want to camp too close to a wide open area. But you guys seen this all in those cinematic shots, but I'm just gonna show you again because it's so nice. So we got some mountains over there. I don't know what they're called actually. I should know before I tell you guys, but I didn't look it up on my map. And then this creek, river kind of thing. I think people actually off-road across it too, which is kind of cool. And then we got a nice mountain here, and then kind of goes out to the hilly kind of land. You can see way off in the distance there's a cut line for snowmobiling. You can go up there. And then behind us is all this open spot for people to go camp. So there's like fire pits that people left, which they shouldn't have, but people left fire pits all in here. So I bet you in the summer it's pretty crazy. And then we have another cut line that goes way down there. This cut line's actually closed. I believe the road goes way around. That's what we did on that little trail map. And then we have our awesome spot. So as you can see, this is pretty secluded. There's no one around but me, and I bet you in the summer it probably gets a little bit busier, but we'll have to try it. So now we got some food cooking on the grill. We're gonna have a hamburger tonight. I don't think I really mentioned when we were doing the cinematic and walking, I've already changed into my snow clothes, so I've got my outerwear on, so my snow pants and my coat. So that means that I'm not gonna get cold now. I think that's just kind of the thing I'm going to do winter camping. As soon as I find a location, I'm going to put on my clothes once the tent's up, because you're going to start to cool down really quickly, and especially the times we seem to arrive. We always seem to arrive with the sun setting, so when we get here, put on our snow clothes, and then we're nice and warm. Anyways, while this is starting to cook, I'm going to go ahead, start a fire. So I kind of do it bushcraft style. I don't use lighter fluid. I use a little bit of wood that I brought from home, so some chopped off dry wood, and then a hatchet where you cut up some small pieces, get a little bit of paper towel, and then start a fire. So it's kind of a mix of bushcraft and a mix of just lighter fluid it and calling it a day. So I'm gonna get that done, eat some dinner, and then hopefully we might be able to get some stars. You guys can't see, but I can see there's a moon right around there. It's a really small crescent moon, so hopefully last time when we went I tried to shoot the stars and I got one photo before the sun, or not the sun, the moon came and ruined everything. So hopefully with this moon it's not going to come in and ruin everything. But we'll start the fire, eat, and then talk to you guys then. All done dinner and got a fire started right beside me, but one downside about camping in the dark is the lack of light. It's like 6:30 and it's pitch black. Thankfully, this time I have a headlamp on. I didn't have one last time. This one is much better, but it looks like our lantern's done, so I'm using this panel light for all my lighting now, which is interesting. But what we're gonna do now is I think I'm gonna try to shoot some photos. I'll see if I can get any and maybe put some in here, but for video-wise, not much. Maybe I'll show you guys the moon if it comes out a little bit more, but can't really show you much, but I'll try. Last time we were camping and it was around 6:15 is when the wind started to pick up. No wind yet, so it's really nice and really calm. This fire is actually going pretty good beside me actually, which is really nice because I can sit here, look at the moon, and not really have to worry about my tent flying away or any of my stuff flying away. Got my camp kitchen cleaned up, so yeah, and just kind of enjoying this fire right here. Pretty good fire I got going actually, pretty proud of it. So we're gonna let that burn, and then I'm going to shoot some photos, and then that's going to be probably a pretty early night compared to like summer camping. And the moon's completely gone away, so I'll see what I can do. But I'm going to turn off this panel light and shoot some photos, because whenever I have this guy on, my eyes have to dilate, and it's really hard to see right now. I can't see a thing. So headlamp on and shoot some photos. And we're now in the tent, so the fire is long since burnt out. I actually shot some astrophotography with the A7. Still have yet to do a video with this. I'll do it someday. Also did some cool little time-lapse and videos by the fire, so hopefully that made it into the video. We'll have to see the way this edits out. But my lantern decided to die. That's why I'm using a panel light right now. And as you can tell, the lighting is really sharp, but what are you gonna do? I have to get myself like a black diamond hanging light for in here, which would be great, but right now I'm just using my panel light. But yeah, so it's definitely a lot nicer when there's not 50 kilometers of wind. It's still really cold. Like, I have a blanket on right now and I'm nice and warm, but as soon as I take off my coat and my snow pants, you definitely get it really cold. So you got to make sure you're always covered up and warm. But anyways, so with that being said, with the no wind, you can actually hear like a lot more now. So an interesting thing is the Wipers Creek is right there. You can actually hear it kind of expanding, I'm assuming, when it's freezing, and it makes almost like quiet gunshots. It sounds like a gunshot, but it's not. And it's the ice, I guess, expanding. And it caught me off guard a couple times. I was like, what's that? But anyways, yeah, that was the only really interesting thing. I'll pop some images of the astrophotography right now. With that, I was using the A7. I got some cool ones of the car, got some of just the stars, got some of the fire, got one of a guy driving by. A big thing I noticed here is we're closer to a lot of people. You don't hear them at all, but there is some people around here, so you can see them off-roading. There's a road back there. You can see them drive through with their lights. I seen two Razors, and then an old Ford truck, and then a couple other vehicles pass by. They're all off-roading at night, so that might be a fun thing to do maybe a little later when we get a light bar on this car. But one really good thing about at night, well, in the winter it gets dark so early. I think it's actually only, what is it? It's 8:30. Feels like it's like 10 because it's been dark since 6. I finally got myself this headlamp. Last video we did not have this headlamp and it was a pain. If you guys are looking for a headlight lamp and a good entry level one, this Black Diamond Spot 350 is really good. Or if any headlamp that you're looking for that has a red light is awesome. So I haven't used a red light in forever, and having that on, it doesn't have your eyes adjust all the time, so you can actually see with a red light around you, and then you can also look around in the stars and stuff without having to have your eyes adjust. Awesome things. So definitely using this all the time in the winter because it's awesome, and I guess in the summer too, but in the winter it just gets dark so early, so it's great to have this. But with that being said, I know some of you guys are new to the video, so with that being said, people are probably wondering why I'm camping with no heater when it's, I don't know, what's the temperature? I can't check. They said -7. It's more than that. That's a Wipers Village. That's like 40 clicks away at a lot lower elevation. So we're higher up and it's a lot cooler. Take your hand out of glove outside, it freezes instantly. But I'm running a North Face Tundra bag. I had this rotate for when we used to do bushcraft where we had to build our huts and stuff, and this thing was great keeping me warm then in -30, so I'll be good to -40 in here with this blanket on top. But yeah, that's what I sleep in here, and there's no real concerns. But with that being said, I don't really have anything else to say or any updates. I hope you guys like those astrophotographies. Photos. I really enjoyed doing them. It's a little sketchy when you turn off all your lights and you can't see, you just see the moon and stuff, and you're like, huh, this is what it's like out here. And then you hear a noise and you're like, what is that? But it's not too bad. But I'm gonna do some work. I actually brought some paper and pens and also my iPad because I'm in a semester right now at school, so I have work to do, but I thought I might as well go camping to do some work, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'll do that for a little bit, and then I think I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is extremely frosty in here. I'll show you guys in a second, but I slept pretty good. It got really cold. If you know, with these kind of sleeping bags, you only have like your mouth cover or out, and then everything else is like wrapped in the sleeping bag. And the whole sleeping bag, the whole blanket, like the whole blanket here is even frosty. Like this is all frosty. The tent's all frosty. It got really cold. I'm gonna start my car and just take a look at the temperature because it's a lot colder than the -6 they said. But looking around at the tent, like this is why you need a heater. It's not really the coldness, it's this frost that gets all over. Like, check that out. It's pretty frosty in here, so hopefully it dries out. And I even had the windows cracked a little bit. But check out this view. Another beautiful morning out in Alberta. So that's my view from my window. So I'm gonna get out there, take some pictures, start a fire, and make some breakfast. Well, there wasn't so much of a sunrise this morning, which wasn't too bad because we got these beautiful mountains behind us. They glowed pretty much purple. I can see my lens is fogging up, but it's probably fine for now. And you know how I said it was -6? Well, I checked with my car, and it's reporting a nice -14. Let's see if we can get you in there. Yeah, a nice -14. So that was probably why everything was frosting up in the morning. I got a fire going. I got this tent actually in the sun, which is in a perfect spot. So hopefully that defrosts a little. But I'm gonna warm up by the fire and then cook some breakfast, and then we'll head out of here, go explore one other place, and then that'll be the end of the video. But this is amazing view, amazing place to wake up, I must say. Just a little cold at night. Well, that sun is nice and warm, so I sat by the fire, enjoyed it. It's pretty much burnt out. I'm gonna let it kind of just sit there for a while before we put it out before we leave, because you gotta remember to do that if you're camping anywhere. Just make sure your fire's out. Anyways, the sun also is helping dry out the tent. You can see all the frost is kind of drying off, and then so is the car. So yeah. People are already off-roading through here, so as I said, there's a trail through here. It's like 9:30, so people must have left Cochrane at like 8. So yeah, people are off-roading through here, so it's really fun on the way back, trying to not meet people on that really narrow trail. Also, you can tell it was colder this time than it was last time, because my water is rock solid. This water is like, there's nothing in there, so it's definitely colder than last time. And that's probably why it frosted up too, so definitely need a heater in there. But yeah, so that's kind of the process. So we're gonna cook some breakfast, and also I was saying it was -14 on the car. That was when the car was already in the sun, so this was probably like -20, so a little chilly, but yeah, let's go ahead and make some breakfast. Breakfast is all done and it's starting to get windy. I went for a short little walk just up and down the path, kind of see if there's any spots where people were camping before, and it looks like it was probably before they got a little skip of snow this week, so the week before it looks like maybe they went. But a funny thing, we've had this issue with this mud flap where a screw will come out, and I lost one of the screws and I replaced it, as I mentioned probably in one of my videos. But I was just walking up the trail where I went and I actually scraped my exhaust, and I walked that yesterday, but look what I found. I found the screw and the washer for my mud flap. So yeah, we need to figure that out. But what's even funnier is I lost it right over there, so I could pick it up. But we've also kind of are losing this piece of plastic down here, so I'm going to actually go ahead and take off the other little piece of plastic tab and then pull that off so we don't lose it down the road. But other than that, as you can tell, it's pretty bright now. I also need my sunglasses. I'm going to start packing up because, well, it is 11. There's a lot more activity on this road now, so we'll get out here sooner than later because, well, it's windy, no point in sitting here, and we might as well enjoy our time driving out. Well, it's time to say one last goodbye to this campsite. We are all packed up, tents packed up, everything's put in the car, and it's ready to go. Usually I film getting out of the campsite, but it's not even that hard. But we're gonna head down that way instead of going back the way we came, so it's hopefully easier. But yeah, this was definitely a good site. I marked it down on my map, so we might come here once again. And away we go. This is the way we should have come in, but we didn't. It looks a lot less pitted, I guess. There's not as many places where I can scrape the exhaust. Still looks a little rough though, so we'll see. That's what we came from, and now we're back on the main road. So essentially we're gonna go down here, and this line just follows all the way back to the Forester Trunk Road. It's pretty amazing. You go from like crazy off-road trails where the car I just passed isn't going to make it, to these awesome roads. It is only pretty much a single lane road. If you meet someone, you got to figure out how you guys are going to get past. But this is so much better than the road that we were doing before, even to the point where it's like harder, but it's way more fun. You can also go that way. That might be a thing we want to do eventually, but we're on our way back. We're gonna hit West Ghost or North Ghost, see what's up there, and then drive back. But yeah, this is amazing. And now we are actually on a real road, so it's gonna go a little bit faster. We're pretty close up to Forester Trunk Road, so I'll see you guys at North Ghost. And we just turned into North Ghost. I don't know really what to expect here, so this is an adventure. A couple cars here, not much, but it says stop if incoming traffic on bridge. Oh, jokes. I'm gonna hike across that. Taking a quick peek at my map here, it looks like if you go south, you can hit this little area here, and then if you go north, where we are, this is all kind of open. This, they say, is an airstrip, which I don't know about that. It'd be pretty sketchy landing. But essentially what's across the bridge, it looks like North Ghost Campground. So I'm assuming this is paid camping during the summer. So maybe we'll just do a quick little walk into here and see if I can find maybe the gate or something. Not the gate, but the pay booth or whatever. Yeah, let's do that. Well, I made it to the notice board, I guess. So this is probably as far as I'm going. I just want to see what we're looking at, and it looks like there's actually some pretty good campgrounds. So you enter in here, you come around, doesn't say where we are. I'm assuming we are right here. So then there'd be a park and whatever up there. You're all the way down there. What I'm wondering is there is tracks up here, so I wonder if there's a way down south. I'm not going to try it today, but it'd be cool to see if there's a way we can go. But yeah, Fireban, what else is new? Yeah, so we're only like halfway up to the main thing. Might be a fun little hike someday, not when we're heading back, but when we're going out. But yeah, let's head back, maybe get some photos, and see where this little roadway leads us. I lied. It's literally just snowmobile and some quad trails that go up there, because there's the bridge. And with that, we are out of there. So that was kind of cool. Good place to keep in mind in the summer if I'm willing to pay, because that is a paid campsite. But anyways, now we're on to this long, not very long, Forester Trunk Road down out of the public land. So I'll catch up to you guys then, or if we see anything interesting along the way. But other than that, I don't really have any more stops because there wasn't anything else too interesting. And just as this video started, it's gonna end in the same place. We just crossed over into, or out of the public land, so now we are back on our way back home. So overall, that was really fun. I found a lot of cool spots, so me and Adrian got to go out there sometime and go off-roading. Definitely still got to lift the Forester. I did check under the tent, and the insulation did help a little, but I think just because it was so cold, it didn't. So I'm either gonna do another like hypervent mat, or we'll see what happens when we do the heater. So look out for that, because the heater's coming soon. We're in the process of ordering all the parts, and eventually we'll have a nice heated tent for rooftop camping, which will be awesome. It definitely was pretty cold. I didn't mention this, but another way to tell it was cold is my eggs that I brought for scrambled eggs were frozen, so when they got in the pan, they were like a block of egg. But I still enjoyed it. I think cold weather camping's a lot of fun, so yeah. If you guys are new to the channel or have any recommendations, put them in the comments section below. And I look forward to definitely going camping again. Maybe do one more without the heater, but we'll have to see. And I definitely look forward to hitting up some of those trails, because I think they lead to some pretty awesome places. But I think that is going to be it. I don't really have anything else to say to you guys besides I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really tried to up the production quality with some of those drone shots and GoPro angles, so if you like them, be sure to show me that with the like button. But that is going to be it. So until next video, peace out and stay humble.